Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. Don't build in India. Don't build in India. This is what Donald Trump, the United States President, told Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple. He said, why are you building in India? You build in US instead, yaar. India will take care of itself. Acha, why is Trump so not happy with India, especially in his second term? Somebody who said that, Narendra Modi was my best friend and all of that, Howdy Modi and all that, why is he so unhappy with India in the second term? Let's talk about it. Let's get right into the show. Now, Trump told Tim Cook not to invest in India, not to build in India. He says, build in United States instead. We've been good to you, yaar. You better invest in United States. India will take care of itself. Now, let's analyze this entire situation. More importantly, there are two aspects to it. First, let's look at it from Apple's perspective. Let's talk a little about Apple. Very interesting company and very interesting relationship with India. Then let us talk about Donald Trump and the relationship with India, and primarily the relationship with Modi. And then let's talk about Donald Trump and his strategies, his international strategies. Okay, so let's divide this entire editorial in three. ठीक है ना? So first let's talk about Apple. Apple has a very interesting relationship with India. Steve Jobs was humongously inspired by a sage in India called Neem Karoli Baba. He was very inspired, and most of his life lessons has been an inspiration of Neem Karoli Baba. And till he died, he was a devotee of Neem Karoli Baba. So he had a spiritual connect with India. He had a spiritual connect with an Indian sage. And Neem Karoli Baba, by the way, has influenced a lot of celebrities across the globe. Huge names, including Julia Roberts and others. Lots of people. So that's Steve Jobs. But Steve Jobs, and I'm going to put it blunt, Steve Jobs always thought that Indians were not very discerning consumers. A lot of magazines have written about it, but they have sugar-coated all of that. But let me tell you, as a marketing person, Steve Jobs thought that India was not a discerning market. And 1999 and all, India, the Apple market in India was not even 1%. It was not even a single-digit market. The reason why Steve Jobs thought that India was not a discerning market, therefore didn't focus much on India, is because he said, I believe in design. I believe in giving the best products, the best design, and I need a market that will pay me a premium for design, and India is not that market. So therefore, he didn't focus on India. He said, India may not pay me just for my design, just for what I am. A very famous statement he made that I will read out to you. He said, we don't aim to be the biggest, we aim to be the best. We don't look at the top line. 8% market share, 10% market share, 20% market share, 30% global market. All that we don't look at. We want to be the best. I want to give the best design. I want to awe people. I want to awe my consumers when they have the product in my hand. And I want somebody who can pay for that design, who can pay for that experience. And that he believed India was not. This was Steve Jobs. Things changed. Things changed when Tim Cook took over. I believe Tim Cook had a very different marketing strategy. Tim Cook believed in market domination. Tim Cook believed in selling more products. And Tim Cook saw India as a huge market. And Tim Cook said, I am going to make my product feature rich, where an Indian feels it is worth buying that product, not just for mere design, because it's feature rich. So there was a difference even in thought. There was a difference even in the way the product was positioned. Though they have not gone and admittedly said that, listen, you know what, design with and we are going to focus on features and all of that. It was not made very obvious, but you've seen the transition, and the answer to that, and the result of that rather, is the fact that India today is around 2.05% of Apple market. 2.05% from almost not even 1% to 2.05%, which is quite a growth as far as sales is concerned. They're 2.05% of the revenue of Apple. That is what I meant by 2.05%. Now, India definitely is important, and therefore Tim Cook decided to invest in India and make India a manufacturing hub for Apple. Now, mind you, they had tried the same with China, and they had successfully tried it with China. Now they wanted to focus on India. And 2024, they made around 14 to 15% of their produce. And there are companies like Foxconn, there are companies like Pegatron. Pegatron is in Tamil Nadu, Foxconn also incidentally is in Tamil Nadu, Wistron, which is in Karnataka. So these are the companies that produce for Apple, and these companies produce 14 to 15% of total Apple's produce in the world. So India was successfully becoming a production hub for Apple. That's when, now let me come to my next point. That's when Donald Trump came and said that, Kaiko, why are you spending so much money? Why are you investing in India? Why are you looking at India? Stop building India, dude. Build our own country. Build the country you used that supported you. Build the country that you originated from. Build America. Why go to India and build India? Now the question is that statement that plain and that simple? Is that statement that simple and plain? Let's understand the response of Apple. Tim Cook hasn't responded, to the best of my knowledge. He hasn't responded as yet. But the Apple executive, the Apple spokesperson of India responded. He's saying that there is no change in the investment plan in India. He told the government of India that we are going to invest as much as we promised we were going to invest. And a commitment to India as a major manufacturing hub remains. He says we continue that. There is no change. Now, would I take it on the face value of it? The answer is no, I will not. And I will tell you why I will not take it on the face value. I will not take it on the face value is because India is 2.05% of their revenue. America is close to 44% of their revenue. American sales is close to 44% of their revenue. In fact, China too is quite big. China is 17.12% of their revenue. Now, a country, forget about country of origin, forget about it's an American company, forget about all that. A country, a market that tells you, the market that has 44% of your revenue, where 44% of your revenue comes from, that market tells you, Baba, don't invest in another market. Do you think that an intelligent businessman or even non-intelligent businessman will go against the whims and wishes of that country leader and go and start investing in the other countries? Will he do that? The leader of the country which gives him 44% of his revenue says that do not invest in India. Do you think, that Tim Cook will still go and invest in India? Tim Cook will continue everything in India like he had originally envisaged. Do you think it is going to happen? I don't think it is going to happen. I don't think it is going to happen. End of the day, it is money, honey, and that's what it's all about. Money. क्यों कोई risk करेगा? Why would somebody risk 44% of their revenue? So the chances are, while all this is said, the chances are Tim Cook may heed to what Trump said. And I can understand why Apple made this statement. It is very natural for Apple to make this statement. All these companies that I spoke to you about, Foxconn, Pegatron, Wistron, all these companies, they've invested because Apple asked them to invest. They've invested on manufacturing Apple products. Overnight, Apple coming and saying that that doesn't work that way, right? So obviously Apple has to make that statement saying that no, everything is as planned and all of that. So yeah, but finally things may change. This is what I believe. Now coming to the third point. Why is Trump doing this? My friend, my best friend, Mr. Narendra Modi, turning to Modi is also my friend, Pakistan is also my friend. How come this change? How come this man changed? Now, the first thing, if you remember, we had always told you that it is always better when a country has a relation with another country, not one leader with another leader. One leader with another leader, that relationship is always volatile. A country to a country, that relationship cannot be volatile. It will be very difficult for Donald Trump or Biden or anybody in United States to go against or just take Britain lightly, United Kingdom lightly. They cannot. Because it's a country to country relationship. It's a country to country relationship. So normally a country to country relationship is stronger. India and United States, at one point when the relationship peaked, was Modi and Trump relationship. What peaked could always come down because it was two human beings end of the day. That's point number one. Point number two. Trump 2.0 was never quite favorable to Modi. Possibly, Trump thought that Modi didn't give Trump enough impetus when Trump lost. Modi didn't stand by Trump. Modi didn't visit Trump when he went to meet Biden or when he was in the United States, when there was a meeting arranged between Trump and Modi. Because possibly at that point in time, Narendra Modi thought maybe Kamala Harris would come as the next president, and meeting Trump at that point in time would not be very wise. This is possibly what he could have thought. But the point remains that the relationship Trump 2 was not very good. Modi was not invited for his swearing-in ceremony. Let me just add this. During swearing-in ceremony, when he was not invited, a lot of people said, no, it's not like that. It's just that, when we would like to treat Modi separately. When Mr. Modi comes to United States, we will be treating him separately. And, of course, Trump is looking forward and all that. That also happened. Modi went to United States, but this time there was no fanfare and all that. In fact, it was very lukewarm. Trump didn't even go out to receive Mr. Modi like he would do that to other state heads. He didn't go out to receive Modi. So the response was quite lukewarm. One wondered why. While Trump was not rude to Modi like he was to Zelensky and all that, but he was not, those heaps of praises either.
As a signal of good faith, Prime Minister Modi recently announced the reductions to India's unfair, very strong tariffs that limit U.S. access into the Indian market very strongly, and really it's a big problem, I must say.
So, Modi's trip was not very, like normally the fanfare we didn't see this time around. Third was very clear. The tariff, the reciprocal tariff, India was not spared. India was not given any special treatment. Like other countries, India was also one of the other countries. And the fact that today he boldly says that India, in response, now they are going to completely remove the tariff for American products. We'll have zero tariff. That is what he says. And he says it as if he has won a war. That's the way Trump is proclaiming it. So the point is, India was not given any special treatment during their reciprocal tariff war against the world. The fourth, most importantly, is Trump played it absolutely neutral between India and Pakistan. Absolutely neutral. He went out and said that both are my friends. Of course, he also said that India and Pakistan were warring for 1,500 years, which I didn't know that Pakistan existed 1,500 years. And but yeah, of course, Trump says that. So 1,500 years they were warring, and both are my friends, and I will talk to both of them. Never did he speak for India. Never did he speak for India. Very well knowing that Pakistan was aligned to China. But he never spoke for India. So the point is, there too, he was very neutral, and the fact that he took entire credit of bringing about the ceasefire. One-sided, he took the entire credit of bringing about the ceasefire. So India, to a large extent, tried to say that no, it was not Trump, it was we who decided, we wanted, Pakistan came to us, we decided that there will be a ceasefire, so on and so forth. Trump continued his claim to the fact that he and his administration brought about the ceasefire. That too happened. So, at some point, there is something that was not going right. And finally, here, openly, he says, you don't build in India. Why are you building in India? See, when he says openly to Tim Cook, he is sending message to 10,000 other investors who could be investing in India. He is sending a message to 10,000 other investors, American investors who would want to be investing in India, mind you. So that's the importance of him telling Tim Cook, and of course the fact that Tim Cook is investing in India and was going to invest much more than what he is currently already did. So that's the point. Now, I have done an editorial on what are the things that really went wrong between the Trump-Modi relationship. I'll attach that video below. But these are the factors that one needs to consider. The last point I wanted to also make is the geopolitical situation. You see, if you specifically look at this entire thing from a Apple point of view, Apple invested humongously in China. Apple made China a manufacturing hub like what they're intending to make India. And look where China is today. There are n number of companies like Apple who invested in China, but a lot of American companies invested in China and made China as powerful, almost as powerful as America. They may not be as powerful as America, but definitely they are the second most powerful country in the world. A lot of it was thanks to American investment. Now, Trump is very wary. He doesn't want investment to go to China, but neither does he want to have investments in India, coming into India, because he doesn't want India to be another China. He knows his country made China what it is through their investment, and he doesn't want his country to make India what China is today. He doesn't want any more superpowers, or at least contender for superpower. He doesn't want, and that's one of the reasons why he is not very keen on Apple investment. I would say American investment coming to India. Maybe one of the reasons why he didn't want to offend Pakistan is because he doesn't want Pakistan to align with China, and he didn't want India to be super powerful by helping India to be one. He didn't want that. He wanted that balance to be maintained. China on one end, India on the other, Pakistan on the third, and ultimately, therefore, America reigning. So, these were factors that can also be thought of if you talk about the reason why Trump 2.0 is absolutely different than what Trump 1.0 was. And Trump 2.0 does not look very favorable to India. This is the point I wanted to make. Until I see you next time, that's tomorrow at 10. Namaskar.